'67, I'd only been there in that little hole in the wall 2 years in, and we already had it kind of full, but '67, Jack Green had Song of the Year, Album of the Year, and Singer of the Year, I believe. I believe he had all three that year. And I hadn't met Jack. But
he's from Maryville, by the way, for you people who don't know. Jack's from here.
We knew his sisters, his mother and dad, and several nieces and nephews, several nephews. And we got acquainted with all of them, but Jack later came to Maryville. We met him for the first time. We did a show there, I believe, with Jeannie Seeley. Anyway, as I said, my decker man was, he lived in Knoxville, and he told me, he said, Roy, this is Jack Green's hometown, and you deserve to get his album first. Now, his album came along, it followed a single, of course, and right now I can't remember how far back, but later, the album, everybody was wanting the album then, you know, because he was the hottest thing going in country music. And his family began calling us every day. And Bill Lambert told me, he said, you deserve to get that album before anybody in the whole country gets it. And back in those days, our deliveries were made by Greyhound bus. We went to Knoxville to pick them up all the time. And we ordered twice a week. And, Bill had told him, Jack Green's album, I won't ship the minute you get it. And one evening, about 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, I got a call from the Greyhound bus station that we had a package. So I go down and got it, and it was Jack's album. And at that time, I had a good friend that worked at WIVK, and they had, Mike Haynes was his name. He later married Barbara Fairchild. But Mike had told me, he said, Roy, you know how stations are competitive. He said, we want that record first. We want that album first. See if you can do that. And I said, Bill Lambert has promised me that. So I went and picked that album up, and I called Mike Haynes, and Mike said, bring it over right now, bring it over here. I'm at the station, bring it over. So I drove it over, and well, actually, I got there at the old location that WIVK used to be. I knocked on the door, and I couldn't get in, couldn't get their attention. And that was before cell phones, and I'm sitting there wondering what to do, and a car drives up beside of me, and a lady gets out with her little record. And I told her, I said, the door is locked, and she said, well, just wait. I'll go down here and call them, and I'll be back. So she called and came back, and Mike Haynes let us in, and she had a new record she wanted him to play, and she had a fifth or something there.
Some sort of brandy you said last night. I couldn't pronounce it either.
Cognac or something like that.
Yeah, French brandy.
But
she knew how to get in the door.
It's a story within a story from her in that direction. She's related to the Stone family. But anyway, Mike played that entire album that night. The entire album. And he was telling everybody that Roy's Record Shop in Maryville, Tennessee is the only place anywhere you'll find this album.